Hi guys, this is Rusty 78609 in Capitan, New Mexico. Nice day, a little cloudy today. Finally, we got some clouds, but anyway, that's not what I'm going to talk about. What I want to talk about is, as you know, well, first of all, let me give you some background. I'm in a 16-foot travel trailer. I have lived in RVs for 25 plus years. I'm 72 years old, and I'm in Capitan, New Mexico, but I have a home base in Central Texas where I'm going to be going on. Well, I should be there by Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday next week. So I'm kind of going back home after being out here 3 months. But anyway, I've tried different things out here camping. I've done boondocking, dry camping, stayed in Corps of Engineer Park, BLM sites. So for the past 5 or 6 weeks, I've actually stayed in 2 different RV parks. And that's what I want to touch on today. For those of you that are full-time RVing or done a full-time RV or RVing part-time, whatever, that stay in RV parks every now and then, let me just mention a couple of things that really irritate me, okay? I mean, in an RV park. And this is not a hasty generalization. Believe it or not, years ago, I stayed in a lot of RV parks. So what I'm fixing to, all this applies to every RV park I've ever stayed in, and so I'm certainly not singling out the RV park that I'm in now, because it's probably one of the better ones that I've stayed in. It's only got 18 hookups or 18 sites, so there can't be that much noise, and there's not. But what I wanted to touch on is some of the things that disturb me or would irritate anybody, I guess. One is, for example, we have some individuals here that have motorcycles. Well, that's okay. I don't have any problem with motorcycles. But you know, we're in a really small spot here, okay? So whenever you start up a Harley Davidson or some loud motorcycle, and you know, brr, 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 well, you know, it can be heard through these little thin walls in the RV quite clearly, okay? And you know, sometimes they start them up and they just let them run for several minutes before they hop on them and go. And so you know, you've got, and that could happen 2 or 3 times during the day, okay? 7 days a week. So that's one. And here's another one. You know, I have no problem with diesel trucks, none at all. I don't have one, but I don't have any problem with them, other than when they're parked and they're running, the diesel exhaust will gag you, okay? And in a small confined space like any RV park, if you're near that individual truck, whenever they crank them up and let them idle to warm up before they go or hook up or whatever they're doing, that diesel odor just covers the park, okay? And you know, it could be, you know, there's a couple that crank up here about 6 a.m. Maybe they're going to work or whatever, but you know, they let them idle for a while, you know, several minutes, and that diesel exhaust just covers the park. And that happened years ago at RV parks. In fact, I left an RV park one time because my neighbor had a big diesel dually, and his exhaust pipe pointed right to my RV, and he would crank it up in the mornings and let it idle for about 10 or 15, 20 minutes before he left. And inside of my RV, I might as well have been in a bucket of diesel. But anyway, so that's another one. And of course, I'm close to the dumpster here, and the dumpster has, even though the dumpster has kind of a hard rubber lid on it, they're not iron, but what happens is people throw trash in there all during the day, and you know, rather than just set the bag in there, they just open the lid and chunk it. Well, if it's got bottles and cans in it, it sounds like a bomb going off. And also, instead of setting the lid down gently, they just let go and bam, you know, so you hear that. And then of course you have guess who show up and has to pick up the garbage, and it's a truck that is not quiet. I can assure you the garbage trucks are not quiet. And what else? Well, you know, then you get a neighbor, and this happened a few times traveling years ago, and we got it now. There's some people, I guess I should say, that are into crafts. Okay, I don't have any problem with that. Good. Arts and crafts are great. But if you drill or saw at random times during the day, off and on, I mean, you know, like if I'm trying to take a nap, then all of a sudden I hear boom. Well, you know, that's not the greatest thing in the world for me to hear, okay? And again, I'm just giving you a list of some of the things that can happen for you people that are thinking about maybe going and staying in RV parks frequently, just be aware. And then again, this RV park's not too bad because there's not that many people here, but in other RV parks I've been in where there's like 50 or 80 or even 100 sites, folks, there's cars and people moving around all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So as far as noise, it's not going to be that noisy, but because it's random, if you're trying to sleep, sometimes it'll wake you up and sometimes it won't. So, be aware of that. Dogs, not a real problem here. I've heard dogs a couple of nights, but not often. In some of the other RV parks, it just depends on where you park, because you might get next to or in between two RVs and they both have dogs and you don't. But every time you move, it's woof, 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 because they're looking at you through the window because they don't have anything else to do. And the people that own the RVs may be working at night or during the day or whatever, and they live there full time, so they just leave the dog in the RV, and that's the way it goes. So dogs can be a nuisance. And but what it boils down to is you've got just in any RV park, even though there's some that say they have the wide spaces and all that, they do, but you still have a lot of people in a very small place. Can people get on each other's nerves? You bet. My idiosyncrasies probably bother somebody else. I'm sure they do. I go out every now and then and get in my truck, check on, and then shut the door. I'm sure if somebody says, "Damn, I wish they'd quit shutting that door," but that's life in an RV park. It's like a micro city or a really small city. Well, let's say you were staying in an RV park that had 50 RV sites, okay, and they were full. Well, you got 50, and let's just say there's 2 people, that's 100, and let's just say that 2/3 of those, which is probably pretty normal, would have dogs. So you're going to have at least let's see, 40 roughly dogs. Is that right? Yeah, well, 30 something dogs would be right. Yeah, about 35 dogs. 35 dogs. Now think about that. Some people have 2 dogs. Some people have 3 dogs. And I'm not against dogs. I think everybody ought to have whatever they want to have. Cats, chickens, horses, giraffes, anything they want. Doesn't bother me at all. But when you've got 35 dogs in a park that's about maybe 2 acres at most, you're going to hear some dog noise. I mean, there's just no way around it. And so anyway, having said that, that's all I want to talk about. It's just, it's just little RV park irritants or things that irritate not only me, but other people that are in RV parks, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then you say, well, if you don't like it, leave. Well, that's a good point. I am. I am leaving. Okay? But the reason I did this video is for those of you that are getting RVs and you're selling your homes or you're selling the farm or whatever you're doing, and you're going to buy you an RV and go on the road, and it's a big RV, and you're not going to be staying at boondocking or dry camping. You're going to be in RV parks 100% of the times. You're going to get into some kind of program where you get free rent or whatever, but you've got to pay $3,000 a year for it. There's all kind of discount programs you can get into, but all of them are RV parks, guys. Okay, just remember that. They're all RV parks. Now, you may have some great experiences. You may go into some RV resorts, and you go in there and you park. You're there for a week, no problems at all. That can happen. I've had that happen many times when I was staying in RV parks years ago. And but every now and then, I would say better than 60% of the time, you're going to win the lottery, because whenever you have to back in between 2 RVs, you have doubled your chances of winning the dog lottery. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because I've been here for a while, and that's one of the reasons I'm leaving, is because I have more privacy at home than I have here, and it's a little warm now to be going out boondocking unless I go way up in the elevations, northern New Mexico or into Colorado, and they got forest fires there, so that's kind of a catch-22. There may be some other areas, but I don't want to drive that far. So anyway, guys, from Capitan, New Mexico, this is Rusty78609 saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything your little heart desires. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of my video. I appreciate it. I make a small commission, doesn't cost you 1 penny. So if you choose to, do it. If not, don't worry about it. What else? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it'll also help you lose weight because you'll be full of water and you won't want to snack, and that's what gives you the weight gain. What else? Stretch. Oh, take deep breaths. Breathe in deeply, hold it for a few seconds, breathe out slowly. What does that do? It lowers stress, that lowers blood pressure. That's good for you. Try it. What else? Stretch, walk. I'm fixing to go do my walking again, then I'm going to do my stretches, and that'll do that. And then what else? Stand guard at the door of your mind. Whatever you let in are ingredients, okay? It's your mind. Don't let negative Nancy or negative Ned inside your head. Stand guard. It's your mind, okay? So anyway, guys, thumbs up from Capitan, soon to be back in Texas, probably Monday or Tuesday. So anyway, enjoy your life, baby. Adios. Bye-bye.